$400 billion China-Iran deal could pave way for J-10C fighter sales, why fighter jets are the best choice for Iran. China and Iran signed a $400 billion deal for extensive Chinese investments in the Middle Eastern country over 25 years in exchange for oil sales. The deal follows a prior Sino-Iranian military and economic pact signed in July 2020, and comes as the US has sought to prevent Iran from exporting oil with extensive unilateral economic sanctions and offensive actions against Iranian merchant shipping. It also notably follows the expiration of a UN arms embargo on Iran in October 2020, which has long been expected to be followed by major arms sale to the country. While Iran's defense sector has become relatively self-reliant, and has been able to acquire most of what it does not produce itself from North Korea, which ignored the arms embargo, a notable weakness has been its inability to acquire modern fighter aircraft. The country is overwhelmingly reliant on obsolete third-generation aircraft acquired in the 1970s from the United States, with a small number of early fourth-generation fighters in service, including 2 MiG-29A and 1 Su-24 squadrons from the Soviet Union, and 2 indigenously upgraded American F-14A fighters. As a result of its requirements for a more capable combat fleet, China's J-10C lightweight single-4++ generation fighter has been highlighted as a leading potential candidate to modernize the Iranian Air Force. Although Iran acquired fighter aircraft from Russia in the Soviet era, it is expected to look to China in future for new acquisitions. This has in part been for political reasons, as Russia has been seen to frequently make major concessions to the Western Bloc and to Israel regarding its arms sales to the Middle East since the collapse of the USSR. Examples have included freezing of a deal to provide Iran with more MiG-29 seconds and possibly MiG-31 aircraft under Western pressure in the early 1990s. Freezing of S-300 air defense systems Iran had ordered in the early 2010s under the Dmitry Medvedev administration, and cancelling plans to provide Tehran's close defense partner Syria with S-300 seconds. Iranian media has also reported that Russia provided Israel with valuable intelligence, including sensitive codes for Syria's air defense network, which allowed the Israeli Air Force to more easily strike targets in the country. Should these claims represent the view of Iran's military intelligence, it would seriously undermine the appeal of acquiring Russian armaments. Aside from political considerations, the J-10C is arguably a much better fighter for Iran than anything Russia can offer. The single-engine aircraft has a much lower operational cost than heavyweight jets like the Su-35 or Su-34, and it benefits from far superior air-to-air missile classes and more advanced avionics and electronics. Moreover, the J-10C is produced on a much larger scale than any Russian fighter, with over 200 having entered service in 3 years since 2018. Russia reinforces Crimean forces with new artillery and armor, anticipating possible rise in tensions. A number of images have emerged allegedly showing the Russian military redeploying armor and artillery units into Crimea and near its borders with Ukraine, amid concerns of heightened tensions and a new round of hostilities between the two countries. Armaments reportedly seen in transit have included T-90 battle tanks, AMP-3 infantry fighting vehicles, and S-152mm self-propelled artillery pieces. Some reports have also indicated that new combat aircraft have also been deployed to Crimea, although their nature remains uncertain. It is not clear whether these armaments came from elsewhere in the Russian military's southern command, or from a different region entirely. Crimea is one of the most heavily fortified territories in Russia, and boasts multiple S-400 air defense systems and a range of fighter aircraft such as Su-30 and Su-24M jets, as well as Iskander hypersonic ballistic missiles, Bastion anti-ship defense systems, and a number of other assets. Reinforcing the territory conspicuously could well be seen as a signal to potential adversaries of Russian readiness in order to deter escalation. Relations between Moscow and Kiev have been poor since the overthrow of the Ukrainian government of Viktor Yanukovych in early 2014 and the installation of a pro-Western government. which led Russia to recapture the historically Russian peninsula of Crimea by force after it had been under Ukrainian control since 1954. The territory is currently disputed between the two countries, with Russia widely suspected of supporting anti-government militias in eastern Ukraine, many of whom come from Russian-speaking areas. Kiev has gained considerable Western support in taking a hard line against Russia, with US backing long having been expected to increase after the coming to power of the Joe Biden administration. The fortification of Crimea's defenses since 2014 is a result of the fact that, alongside Kaliningrad and the Kuril Islands, it is expected to be at the focus of any armed conflict between Russia and the Western Bloc.